This video is about my suggestions. Okay, start over. This video is about my suggestions on how you should study materials for this course, how you should complete the homeworks, and how you should submit the homeworks. Okay, let's start again. This video is about my suggestions on how you should study materials for this course, how you should complete the homeworks, and how you should submit the homeworks for grading. And I would suggest you start with going to WebAssign. Once you come to WebAssign, to the page for this class, you will see the next homework due. So you open that homework. And look at the problems. So this homework has 8 problems, and the homework is numbered 1 to 1, functions from a line. In order to prepare for solving these problems and to learn the materials necessary to understand these problems, you should go to my website . And find the corresponding materials. So again, the homework was numbered 1 to 1. So in the lecture notes section in Calculus 3, you open 1 to 1. And this is the section for you to study. And I suggest you start from the very first web page and go sequentially through all the web pages, watching the videos, reading the materials. Some pages have reading materials only, some have videos. You can conveniently browse through these web pages by clicking Next once you are finished with the current web page. Well, the next one contains some video that you will have to watch. It's 7 minutes long, and it has some accompanying notes. In this case, summarizing the content of the video. So this way you learn the materials on the website, and once you are ready to come back to the homework, you go back to the WebAssign and start thinking about the problem. So problem number 1 is to find parametric representation for a line through 2 given points P and Q. Now, in order to proceed with solution, you would open Mathematica file. I have a new Mathematica file open here, and now I will try to arrange my windows so that the windows are conveniently positioned, and I can work on my Mathematica file and see the problem. Let me start with giving the file a name and saving it. So I will save the file as, and here's the convention about naming the file. The name of the file starts with my last name, and if you are doing the homework, it will be starting with your last name, underscore, first name, underscore, homework 1 to 1. And with this name, well, you save it, and let me save it to the desktop. All right, once the file is named properly, you can begin working on the file, and you work on it by bringing this problem to the file. There are two ways to do that. One way is you simply select the text in this problem, copy it, go to the Mathematica file, and paste it. But notice that I do not want to paste it in the default place. If I do that, it will look bad and it will be treated by Mathematica as a code. I do not want to do that. So this cell is the standard Mathematica code cell, but what I'm trying to paste is simple text. So instead of using the default Mathematica input, I will choose plain text. And now I'm pasting and I see the plain text. Now let me show you another way of bringing the problem to the Mathematica file. It will be through taking the screenshot. I think on the Mac, the key on the keyboard for the screenshot is Shift Command 4. You press Shift Command 4, then you simply select the part of the screen you want to capture, and you immediately get that picture, and then you simply drag and drop it into Mathematica file. And here it is. So this way you get a picture of the problem instead of a text. So it is up to you which way to choose, which way to have the statement of the problem in your file, but you have to have the statement of the problem here. And then you proceed with solution. How do you solve this problem? Well, my solution will be wrong in many different ways, and the reason I'm doing it is to demonstrate how you should not proceed. But let me, for example, try this. Wolfram Alpha input, and I will copy this question and simply paste it and evaluate. Oh, Wolfram Alpha recognized that what I want is equation through these 2 points, and it gave me the equation. Great, so I have the answer and I can input it to the VivaSign. Let me do that. Well, let's see, it is y equals x over 2 minus 7 over 2. X over 2 minus 7. Minus 7 over 2. And submit. And my answer is incorrect. Well, what's wrong? What do you do when you get stuck and you don't know what to do next? Well, you should go to the forum. So let me open the Google forum. And on that forum, I make a post. I post a question. How do I give a title to the question? Well, the convention is that I title it 1 to 1, and then I'm going to ask about question number 1. And then I would say, please help, but I will have to explain where I got stuck. And in order to explain, I will use the attachment. So I will attach a file to my post. And my file is going to be that notebook file. Well, I don't think I saved it yet. So let me save it. And then once you saved it, you can upload. So this way, everybody on the forum will be able to look actually at the solution and see exactly what the problem is and which steps have been made in an attempt to solve the problem, with all the numbers, with all the explanations. Although I didn't provide any explanations at that point, but this way people can actually help you because they see the context of the question. And for this particular question, I will not post, but instead of posting actually this fake question, I will discard it. But I hope you get the idea that once you get stuck, you post on the forum, but I would like your post to be meaningful. I would like you to attach your work on the problem. All right. Well, let me show what I actually expect from you to do. I would expect you to solve the problem, and the solution is very simple here, to parameterize a line through the points P and Q. The idea is to start with the point P and follow the vector PQ for the time t. And the steps, well, my steps would be as follows. I would say in plain English that I define the points P and Q first. And then I actually execute that step in the Mathematica code. I would say the point P is equal to, and remember that we put points in in curly brackets. So P is equal to 1, minus 3. And to evaluate this cell, if I just leave this, if I click enter, the cell continues and waits for me to enter something else. And let me enter something like Q equals 9, 1. Now, to actually evaluate this cell and to assign the value of P to be 1, 3, I have to click Shift Enter. And another way to think about it is go Evaluation, Evaluate Cells, Shift Enter. Okay, let me do that. And I see that the result is the assignment of 1, 3 to P and 9, 1 to Q. Now, what do I do with those points? The next step will be to define the vector PQ. And how do I do that? I say PQ, that will be my notation for the vector, equals Q minus P. And at this point, I do not use coordinates anymore. I use the notations that I just introduced, P and Q. And when I click Shift Enter to evaluate, Mathematica tells me what the vector PQ is. And finally, I would say that the line PQ can be parameterized as P plus the parameter T multiplied by the vector PQ. And that is my explanation, but the computation is going to be P plus T multiplied by PQ. Shift enter, and I got the answer. Now I have to enter that into WebAssign, and that can be done by copy paste. I copy here, go to WebAssign, and well, it fails to paste. So notice that the problem says I have to use t as my parameterized variable, and that's exactly what I did. So 1 plus 8 t, comma 3 minus 2t. And I'm trying to submit the answer. Oh, wrong answer. Well, that means that I made a mistake somewhere in the file. Well, let me go and check. So I assigned p to be 1, 3, and now I see p should be 1 minus 3. Well, that is an error. Now, fortunately, it's easy to fix this error in Mathematica. I fixed it there, and now I evaluate that cell, and now you see that the result is 1 minus 3. Then I simply evaluate the second cell, and we see that the result is changing, and I evaluate the last cell. Now I have the answer, which is hopefully correct. So let's see, 1 plus 8t, comma, minus 3 plus 4t. Plus 4t. And let me try to submit that answer. Yes, that's a success. So that's how easy it is to fix error in Mathematica. You just fix it wherever you find it, and then re-evaluate all the subsequent computations. And of course, my explanations did not depend on the numerical values, so I did not have to change my explanations at all. All right, I will pretend now that I finished the whole homework and I put all the solutions of all the problems in this file. And now I will save my file, which is Command S in the Macintosh. And there are two things I would expect you to do about this file. One is to upload the file to WebAssign. And unfortunately, my view of the homework does not show the option of uploading the file, but I hope you will see the uploading option, and it will be self-evident how to proceed and how to upload the file. You just click certain buttons and attach the file uploaded to WebAssign, and that would be your submission of your solution of this file to the WebAssign. So, in other words, in addition to numerical answers, I will expect you to submit the Mathematica file, named properly. Remember about the naming. Now, after submitting to WebAssign, I would ask you to also share that file with me and the teaching assistant. Let me show you how to share the file. I would go to Google Drive. So you have your Google account, you have your Google Drive. That's how you access it. You see at the top, once you log in, at the top you will have this 3x3 grid. Once you click on it, well, doesn't work. Just worked. That's how I got here. All right, yeah. Once you click on 3x3 grid, you can choose the Google service you want to use, and I just chose this Google Drive. You get your Google Drive, and in your Google Drive, you can organize all your files. And for example, I will create a folder. I would name it Math 241. Now you see that a folder is created. I enter that folder and I see that the folder is empty, and the Google suggests to drop files here. So I will go to my file. Here's my file on the desktop, and I will drag and drop. Now the Google is asking whether I want to convert the file. And no, I do not want to convert this notebook file to Google format, because this notebook file is not compatible with the Google format. And I will start upload. Done. The file is uploaded. Now the next step is to share the file. In this uploading window, there is a share button that you can use, or you can right-click on the file and share. And you share that file with me and the teaching assistant by entering here the Google email addresses of respectively me and teaching assistant. Notice that there is can edit option, and you leave it so that we can edit the file. And we will agree later on whether you would like to notify us about sharing or not. Basically, if you leave this default check mark, that means we will get email notifying us about the file submitted. If you think a little bit about our side of the story, every time a homework is completed, about 30 students will be sharing files with us, and therefore we will be getting about 30 emails. We will talk later about whether we want to have it or not. But for now, let's just leave it by default. So I'm not going to proceed. I don't want to share this file, but I hope it is obvious how to do it. So I will cancel, and once you click done, after sharing, this is all you have to do about submitting the homework. Basically, you work out the homework in the notebook file, and I'm just summarizing the procedure. Work out in the notebook file, save the file, give it a proper name, submit your answers to the WebAssign, get your happy green check marks, and upload the file to WebAssign and to Google Drive, and finally share the file on Google Drive with me and teaching assistant. That concludes your work on the homework assignment.